picture appearing on the screen? Will the picture
Yeah, it will come on. They're still making it.
Right.
Give an intro. Yeah.
You give an intro, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the women's singles finals of the first capital SSC Open tennis tournament for the year 2024. The tournament that kickstarts the Sri Lanka tennis calendar year for the year 2024. And the two competitors right there out battling, actually warming up right now, is Sajida Rasik, last year's SSC champion. And her opponent today is Dinara De Silva, a rising star in Sri Lanka tennis. And I'm Vibhuda Vijay Bandara, and along with me is Aruna Seniviratna.
Hi, good morning. So the dream final as far as the event is concerned, with the top seed Dinara De Silva and the bottom seed Sajida Rasik playing in the finals. The match is just about started and it's 15 all in the Sajida Rasik is no stranger to the SSC Open, having been the winner in 2023. In fact, it was her breakout year last year. Dinara has been a rising star. She has been the under 14 number one, and thereafter winning all age groups, winning the under 16 and 18, and now, as of now, rising to the number one position in the women's ranking as well.
And they've been continuously competing against each other in every single tournament, almost every time, especially in the finals. So it is an intensifying rivalry, and it's good to see for Sri Lanka tennis, to see two competitors competing against each other on a continuous basis.
True. And interestingly, both these players are from the same coaching academy, and they probably know they are getting set. Generally, you will find players trying to sort each other out. But here, you can see them getting into reasonably longish rallies straight away.
And right now, Dinara is in the cusp of a break point, so it's a good opportunity for her to kickstart her match. Miss hit from Sajida gives Dinara the first game of the finals. She breaks Sajida's serve, and it is 1-love in favor of Dinara. So it's Dinara De Silva who will be serving the second game of the match. She leads 1-love after breaking Sajida Rasik's serve. It's interesting to see how they hold their serves, because very rarely you see big serves in the women's tour. And not just those two players actually, especially the number one in the world, Iga Swiatek. She's been bagling lots of opponents in the last 2 years. She's been really dominant. Does that mean she has a big serve or no? The emphasis is on the return. Court coverage and a bit of nerves there by Sajida.
Teenage kata, youth mavana, sihina dina, HMB samagin kenena, api katat galapena itiriyak, eta dina sarui satute itirivi, katat galapena itiriyak.
Enjoy the highest rewards and live life to your heart's content with savings that bring joy to life. HNB.
අපේ රසක් මේ අපේ තැනක් හැම හදවතකම රැඳෙන නමක් වසර 120ක් පුරා ශ්‍රී ලාංකේය රස හඳුනන අපිට ලංවුණු අපේ කමේ සංකේතය PNS
Singitissina, teenage kata, youth mavana, sihina dina, HMB samagin kenena, api katat galapena itiriyak, eta dina sarui satute itirivi, katat galapena itiriyak.
Enjoy the highest rewards and live life to your heart's content with savings that bring joy to life. HNB.
First Capital clinches back-to-back wins as the most valuable consumer brand in the investment banking sector, as awarded by Brand Finance and recognized amongst
Out, and that's the second game to Dinara as well. Dinara leads this women's singles final by 2 games to love. And despite the fact that there's no big emphasis to the serve compared to the gentleman's game, the serve percentages, particularly the first serve percentage, is important even in the women's game. And as you can see, the depth of the serve really helps Sajida in that first point of her service game. That's advantage Sajida, good start to her game. Another deep serve. Dinara trying to open up her forehand, be more aggressive, but Sajida's serve is deep enough and cause problems to Dinara and gives her another point. Third first serve miss in the game. That's 3 points in a row. Sajida is growing into the game, primarily relying on good second serves. I think it's a good time now for Sajida to use a bit of pace on her first serve, being 40 love up, less pressure. Try to get a first serve in, give confidence going on to the next game as well. Just like that, opening up the court. Very good game, a very good game and a very good point to finish the game as well. Some basic tennis there. A kick serve to the backhand opens up the court, the forehand cross court, wins the game, wins the point, and gives her the game as well. Sajida stays in the match. It's 2-1 to Dinara de Silva. But it's interesting that two players from the same academy who practice with each other almost every day of the week, and to see them compete against each other must be a proud coach. Well, that's a good problem to have as a tennis coach, isn't it? You say in football that managers sometimes have problems selecting the first 11 because some players are too good, but that's a good problem to have for managers always. See the crowd gathering as well here, the first Capital SSC Open Tennis Tournament, the first tennis tournament of the calendar year. SSC, of course, keeping up to their standards and organizing a mammoth of event as usual, bringing the standards high and giving the foundation and the platforms of the young tennis players, rising stars in Sri Lanka, and the established stars as well, to showcase their talents and their capabilities to a crowd as well, which is a rare sight in Sri Lanka. Yes, and not forget, obviously we are under some shade, but the tennis players out there are playing under scorching conditions, with Dinara de Silva serving. Okay, good first serve, but a very good return by Sajida, and especially the pickup. Getting it on the rise from the backhand. Not an easy shot. Again, Dinara trying to be a bit more offensive, but miscalculating. Should be more consistent on court. She has the lead. It seems like momentum is moving towards Sajida. Her facial expressions and overall demeanor seems to be improving on court as well. So that's what winning points does to you. First serves, good returns and good defenses. Give Sajida the point as well. Again, lots of unforced errors from Dinara in the last two games. It's 2 love 40 games now in a row for Sajida. She's at a very good place to tie the set at 2-all. Yep, and that's game with the double fault. Sajida levels the playing field. It's 2-2. And that's what's brilliant about tennis. It's just that at any moment in time, things can change, especially the momentum. One of the hardest things to keep in tennis is the momentum. And Sajida seems to have taken the momentum off of Dinara, and she is now in cruise controls. 8 points in a row.
Right. So 2-all. I think she needed to get back into the game before she could kind of start competing equally. And now she has taken control as well, I would say. But still, it's early days. 2-all in the first set. Once again, a really well played point by Sajida. It was like a deep serve, and without trying to go for a corner in the first point, she was trying to establish depth control in that rally, and then in the first opportunity hit a cross-court forehand winner.
It's keeping the opponent as far away from the baseline as possible, giving you more angles and more opportunity to be on the offensive.
They're able to make use of the angles much better by keeping the opponents behind the baseline.
Dinara this time taking the ball early and hitting a thunderous forehand, but Sajida's defense was up to it, and her return was deep and puts Dinara in a tough position. The score is 30-love to Sajida.
So once Dinara committed to stepping in and hitting, she should have done more with the ball, because otherwise she was vulnerable to any deep return by Sajida, which is exactly what happened.
It was more towards the center of Sajida, to the middle, so Sajida didn't have to make any sudden movements. Sudden movements, yes, but foot movements towards the ball, no. And that's a much better return from Dinara, taking the ball early and creating the forehand cross-court angle, opening up the court, and just calmly depositing the ball towards the forehand down the line area.
I think Dinara has realized that unless she steps in a little bit, playing from behind the baseline, she's going to be struggling to get the better of Sajida. Attempted forehand cross-court angle by Sajida fell well short of the intended target and let it 30-all.
On offense, Sajida in particular seems to have started off well with the backhand, because we saw some tremendous backhand winners.
So the general plan seems to be Sajida to hit deep shots, get depth by hitting backhands, and then hitting forehand cross-court angles to win points, or to push Dinara away from the court from that.
Yeah. At the start of the point, a very deep serve as well towards Dinara's backhand more often than not.
That was excellent second serve from Sajida, which pulled Dinara wide, and she was able to exploit the open side of the court and then put away the volley by coming up on it, which is extremely well played point by Sajida.
Yeah, I was just emphasizing on her second serves towards Dinara's backhand. It was a nice change-up, good change-up, timely, that allowed her to win the point quite easily. And Dinara making Sajida play deep backhands. Lots of power and spin on those balls, and Sajida seems to not have enough room and the timing to keep the ball in. But still, it's a very competitive affair between the two women's singles finalists. Sajida Razik now serving. It's deuce. Again, a thunderous forehand. That's the second time we've seen a drive volley being missed by Dinara De Silva, but the intent is there always.
Right, I think the approach shot was excellent, and coming up was something she had to do. And most girls in the pro circuit also now they make use of the drive volley as against conventional volley, which serves them very well, but it's a reasonably higher risk shot than the conventional volley.
It's not easy to pull it off. Again, a lackluster shot by Sajida there.
Yeah, she didn't make enough room for herself to hit the backhand slice. She was kind of too close to the ball and ended up hitting it widely.
An unforced error at an untimely place, because that would have been, if she had been in the point there, that would have been 3-2 for her. It's not easy to win 3 games in a row, and with the momentum with her now, it's quite even, fairly even, the momentum. It's 2-all deuce.
Once again, we see the employment of the drive volley, this time by Sajida. So that time, of course, the fundamental error was that she should have been at least 2 feet inside, because she hit the ball way too low and she netted it.
Yeah. But that's the right shot, right?
Right shot, definitely, but I think she should have stepped in a little bit more.
Oh, that's delightful by Dinara. Pace and then changing pace with almost no pace, with a beautiful drop to win the game and break Sajida again.
So it's 3-2 to Dinara, and she'll be serving with the break. She'll be serving with the break.
Anushka, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Both of us? Check uncle's mic.
Then hurry then.
No.
Now, done hai na? Then hurry. දැන් එනවද බලන්න මේක දැන් එනවද බලන්න දැන් එනවද මේක දැන් එනවද මොකද
Okay.
both are okay
Yeah. Should have told us.
yeah exactly
So it's 3-2 to De Silva. She has regained the lead in this first set of the Women's Open final at the First Capital SSC Open Tennis Tournament 2024 here at the SSC Tennis Courts.
after a short period where Sajida was in reasonable control, having 2 game points, she was unable to convert at that point. But now she started off with an extremely good point, hitting a deep forehand down the line, followed up with a backhand down the line to get the point.
2 beautiful backhands, actually.
Very nice
2
backhands.
beautiful backhands. Power and precision. Deep as well. Didn't give Dinara any time or space to maneuver or be in the offensive. The only option was defense. Again, strong first serves and good returns as well. Sajida trying to do a bit too much there.
I think Sajida has come out this time thinking that she's going to take the initiative, probably thinking that longer rallies, Dinara would have the advantage. I think she wants to shorten the rallies and try and get winners early.
And I think both players want to meet the ball early and make sure that they are in the more advantageous position within those points, because the easier it is to get more short balls, you have to create those short
Really?
balls in this level. You can't just wait for a short ball to come your way.
Definitely. Two reasonably unforced errors, because that was a regulation second serve, a typical attackable short second serve that Sajid could have done a lot more with. Instead, she deposited in the net. So it's
Could you have turned around and played a forehand there?
could have had many options at her disposal at that time. So that was a good serve by Dinara. Very good serve there by Dinara.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Another very good serve by
Very good serve by-
Dinara.
yes.
Gives her the game.
She leads the first set by 4-2.
That was a game where Sajida did all the playing in the first part of the game, having a love 30 advantage. But Dinara hung in there, not doing too much, but making sure that Sajida had to take risks in order to win points, and that paid off. So it's a very important point for Sajida
Sajida
to win her serve this time. So she starts off well with a good serve and a deep forehand return.
and Dinara struggling a little bit to return that shot, but let's see how she progresses on as the point goes. So now Sajida serving at 15 love. Dinara wanting to make an offensive return, but unfortunately misses the shot. And Sajida seems to hold on this particular game. And yeah, let's see.
Love to Sajida. She could very well do with the easy service game here, considering the struggle she had to hold the previous service game. Excellent forehand down the line there by Sajida. That's an easy hold for her. So it's 4-3. Still Dinara leading with the service break that she had earlier. So far in this game, you could see that there's been a lot of up and down without taking any initiative. It was more counter-punching than taking the initiative. You must say that it was Sajida who tried to take the initiative at times. She succeeded to an extent when she made a comeback from 2-love down. But I think Dinara's consistency had been the key to having her lead 4-3 at this point. But still nothing between the two players.
It's 4-3 to Dinara de Silva. Back again on terms in the sense that they've both been breaking each other's serve, which is quite a common occurrence in women's tennis, but it's more or less about the points you win and how you win it, and making sure that those games pile up in order to make sure that you win a set and eventually the match. It's Dinara de Silva serving. Again, first serve, but a beautiful return by Sajida, getting that angle cross court with a forehand, opening up the court. That's pretty much the basic of tennis, those cross courts and opening up the court, and just making sure the ball stays in those down the lines. Gives you a lot of opportunity to win the point.
Very similar start to the previous service game of Dinara's, where Sajida opened up the court and hit a winner. I think the point that she played earlier put all the pressure on Dinara this time. She was trying to hit deep in order to deny Sajida good court position and forced error.
Yes, and she tried to force stuff, and by trying to force things to happen, she herself committed an unforced error, which something as a tennis player you need to reduce doing.
Right. Once again, she was able to get into a position to hit that forehand angle cross court, which had been the point that she had been using most to win points in this early part of this set.
An interesting thing is Dinara's serve has some pace, but her first serve is also going in, but it's towards Sajida's forehand. Sajida's using the pace quite good. That's a better point, a better serve as well towards the backhand with pace. You see the reluctance in those dry volleys, but she got it in this time. Make sure that she played another ball in, put Sajida in trouble, and approached the net as well, giving her more opportunity and more angles to finish.
And also she was able to close into the net, where the risk of hitting those volleys were much less this time, and finally ended up having to just tap the ball into the open court. So, but still 15-40, 2 break points. Excellent rally, once again dominated by Sajida, pulling Dinara wide at many times during that rally. I see the pattern emerging now, where the initiative has been taken by Sajida, and I think it will be wise if Dinara doesn't try to counter it by hitting shots of that nature, but she should go back to what she was doing best in the beginning, that is absorbing everything and making Sajida hit more and more shots, and be a little bit patient, because I think if it's going to be a slugfest, Sajida seems to have more ammunition than Dinara.
I think Dinara is trying to increase the pace of her shots as well,
Definitely,
because of
yes.
Sajida's ability to meet the ball early, take it in.
Right. So I think Dinara is being pulled out of her comfort zone because of the pressure Sajida is putting.
That's a great shot. Lots of power in that, hitting the line as well. Sajida had no chance of getting the ball back in. So it's 4-all. Still, it's been Dinara who's been leading the entire match. Sajida has been able to level it, always come back, but hasn't been able to get the lead in the set so far.
2-love to 2-all and 4-2 to 4-all.
See the competitiveness there, because it's almost on level terms. We can really see a big advantage going either way.
That is a point to Sajida, and it's 15 all.
Bit confused there, the two players, but
Right.
it's have gone out. Yeah, it's again 15 all, playing on level terms. Good sight to see for any tennis enthusiasts out there. Now that's the shot Dinara should have been playing all this time because of Sajida's ability to meet the ball early. But Dinara, whenever she tries to hit the ball deep, it's been soft, so Sajida hasn't really been pulled back. But Sajida's that deep ball right there with pace, with spin, with the height, really pulled Dinara back. That's much better play from both the players actually. Cross-court angles, and Sajida creating that opportunity and finishing off the point with a thunderous forehand down the line. Basic tennis at its best, and at its most beautiful, because the simple tennis is, the more beautiful it is.
Exactly. And the beauty about tennis is like the creativity that the players can come up with rather than waiting for points to come your way. So there was a lot of creativity. That'll give her a lot of confidence, I'm sure.
Again, it's just that forehand cross-court short angle or angle of sorts.
Sajida, riding on that, has won her serve and is leading this set for the first time. She's up 5-4.
It's not about the tweeners and the drop shots and the fancy shots always, even though most players tend to do that.
Right. So I think here, that previous rally, the one that you were talking about, I think creating those cross-court angles, it was really beautiful to watch because you knew that the open court was going to be exploited, and it was who was going to do that.
It was a matter of who pulls the trigger first.
Right.
And Sajida did it beautifully.
Right.
Didn't try to overhit it, just nicely placed it and made sure that the ball landed in. So it's 5-4. Sajida serving for the set so far.
No, it'll be
Dinara
serving to stay in the
set. Who'll be under pressure actually. Hasn't been able to hold on to her serves as much as her breaking Sajida's serves. So it's an interesting game to see.
So out of the 4 games that Dinara has won, 2 has been holding serve, while 2 have been breaking of serves. So Dinara serving to stay in the set now. You can see a bit of a spring in the step of Sajida. Looks like she will take the initiative in this game rather than waiting for the point to come to her. At that time, Dinara had the opportunity of using the space down the line, which she did extremely well.
Sajida feeling the taste of her own medicine there.
Right.
And that's what Dinara should be doing, because taking inspiration from Sajida, that's how Sajida won points. And again, good strong first serves there by Dinara. Something we didn't see from Sajida. Second serve was her option, primary option, but good second serves. Dinara is using a bit more pace here, which gives her more ability to get into the point, but the direction itself should be accurate. Otherwise, it's just at this level, players can easily use their opponent's pace.
That was a very well played point by Sajida. I mean, going behind Dinara to hit her backhand instead of going to the open court, took her by surprise and won another point. So she's back in the game. It's 30-15.
Meeting the ball early, that's what's important in tennis. That's a good serve to the tee.
Very good serve to the tee. So this is a game where Dinara got 2 free points with 2 very good serves, and she's 40-15 now.
A prime position to level it up again. It's another good first serve there. Sajida trying a bit too much.
I think to be fair by Sajida, I think that was the strategy she had in mind. I mean, since she was leading for the first time in the set, she was thinking of taking a few chances, but Dinara was able to come up with 3 very good first serves.
And that's the power of a first serve. It gives you those points.
That made the difference. Once again, a good first serve by Sajida, allowing her to win the point with a forehand to the open court. So Sajida serving at 5-all, 15 love. Unforced error from Dinara gives Sajida a 30 love lead in the game.
Again, we see the difference in approach when it comes to serving. Dinara using more pace and trying to get it in. Sajida using more spin and kick. See the 2 dimensions in their serve. It just says how tennis is very unique to the person who's playing. You don't have to be the norm. You can always be something special, something unique.
You can create pressure on the opponent by using different methods on the same thing that you're doing, like a serve. I think it's also a lot to do with what Sajida follows up with. Dinara is getting free points from big serves, but she doesn't necessarily seem to have too much of a plan as to what her second shot after a good serve is, whereas Sajida seems to make better use of weak returns.
But one of the things we can commend both on is their rallies, the ability to stay in the point in the sense that put pressure on the opponent. Yeah, there are unforced errors, and so that's part of the game.
Right.
But their rally play and their ground strokes are formidable, and that they can create more opportunities through that, rather than compared to the gentleman's game where the serve is a big factor.
Right.
The approach is quite different.
I definitely think that despite the composure that Dinara has at the baseline, it'll serve her well if she makes use of opportunities when she gets a short ball to attack, not necessarily come to net, but to take time away from the opponent.
And one of the things I've realized is the balls are still fairly new, so the pace is there and the power is there, so the more offensive opportunities that it creates is still
available to them. Yes, you're right, Bibuda.
So their ground stroking ability won't come into play until
Right.
after the first set, maybe. So right now it's about those offensive prowess. Get the ball early and make sure that you put into those vacant areas. It's like
Right.
playing
I think Sajida is making better use of that and is able to win points. Although I would say that Dinara have been playing the steadier tennis, Sajida has been playing the more incisive tennis.
It's about finding those vacant gaps, like in cricket. A cover drive needs to go through extra covers and mid-off. And here too, once you open up the court, the next ball should be towards that open side. That gives you more opportunity to approach to the net, or even win the point with a winner.
Right, finding the gaps and timing your shots is like really key. So that's once again game to Sajida, and she leads by 6 games to 5.
And that's 2 leads in a row to Sajida. We'll see whether she can capitalize on this opportunity, because if it's 6-all, we'll go into a tiebreaker. Anything can happen.
Exactly.
It's not about serves. It's about just winning multiple points in a row.
Right. So generally, it's considered to be tiebreaker is a thing that generally is supposed to favor people with really big serves. But here, with nobody having a dominant serve, I think it'll be anybody's game for sure if it goes to a tiebreaker. But I'm sure that we will see Sajida taking more chances on this game. She will try to take time away from Dinara by taking the ball early on return of serves, especially if she gets second serve opportunities.
And speaking about tiebreaks, at the Australian Open, we saw a massive tiebreak. Who was it? Rybakina?
And Blinkova. Yeah.
Yes, I think
Blinkova
won.
Blinkova won, and I think that is the
longest tiebreak.
Yes.
Longest regular tiebreak in
right.
history. 7-point tiebreak.
22-20. 22-20.
That's fantastic.
I know
how it goes.
Would have been set points to both every once in a while, right? So
it's a matter of winning 2 points in a row. They just couldn't do it for 20 points.
Okay, so Dinara serving to stay in the set. We saw good attacking intent from Sajida, but there was a really good second return from Dinara with a lot of topspin that Sajida was unable to control.
Yeah, that shot in particular had more depth in it.
Exactly, it was, I think, a very good response from Dinara.
Soft loopy ball. That would have allowed Sajida to pounce on it and get into the point.
Although it didn't look too much of a rally, I thought that was a very smart rally with 3 good points, shots played by both players.
Playing conservative tennis here, Dinara.
Good serve there, very good serve down the middle.
Okay, Dinara using her first serve to that's contrary to Sajida, because Sajida's second serve has been her go-to element to start the point, but Dinara has been using the pace of the balls and everything that's in her disposal.
Very good play by Sajida. I mean, attacking that first that serve and then hitting the open court. I think that's what she was trying to do from the beginning of the game. This is the time that she got the opportunity, because Dinara was able to stop Sajida doing that with 2 decent serves, first serves in the first 2 points.
And now this is a crucial point. Dinara wins it 40-15, 2 points. 2 point.
I think it's very important that she gets the first serve in. Yeah.
Yes. And if Sajida wins it 30 off.
So that's a missed first serve.
Sajida again pounce this time. We'll see what happens.
You can see Sajida creeping inside the baseline to return the ball. She went for a lot, but wasn't well executed at all.
That was a missed opportunity.
I would definitely say that was a clear unforced error. Very soft second serve.
To the forehand as well, her weapon. Good chance to stay in the set and
force a tiebreaker.
ඒකෙන් දෙකක් තියෙනවා. මේක අඩු වෙනකොට මේක කොච්චර දෙකට යනවද? දන්නේ නැහැ.
a little bit lucky, although.
And Dinara was lucky it hit the net, otherwise it would have
Right,
been a
right,
fantastic
true.
winner. That's smart play by Dinara. Good second service, first serve to start the point, making sure it hits, goes towards the backhand of Sajida and levels it up. It's 6-all. It's a
Yeah,
tie break.
I think that
for
is
serve.
especially that last point was very smartly played. Rather than going for pace, she got depth, and that didn't allow Sajida the ability of placing the ball where she wanted to.
Yes. No
So it's
pace in
6-all,
it.
no pace in it at all, but didn't give the opportunity for Sajida to do anything with it either. So Sajida starts the tiebreaker. Starts with a double fault.
Not a good way to start a tie
No,
break.
I know. So I think it's the first double fault by either one of the players in this match.
That itself is quite a feat.
Yeah.
Played 12 games. This is the first time we've seen a double fault. A good lesson to the younger players out there to
Right,
double fault.
right. To have consistency, and this is probably one of the reasons why you find the two of them in the finals.
Again, a powerful shot by Sajida. Was it called in?
Yeah, it was
It
called
is
in.
1-all.
Yeah,
Yes, it is 1-all.
she did take a chance and paid off, but she executed it very well, I must say.
Very well. Especially turning around and using that forehand to her advantage. Okay, that second serve by Dinara has been the weak point.
Right. Once again, a very good forehand cross-court from Sajida, forced the error from Dinara. So Sajida was straight away able to neutralize the effect of a double fault and win both points on Dinara's serve, and is leading 2-1 and serving.
As the circumstances as well, Dinara cannot just simply use her pace. She has to be much more concerned about these points, because there's no room for error in the tiebreak.
I think, like you said, Dinara should not think about pace and should go for depth.
Yes. More consistency getting it in.
Because the thing is, even if Dinara uses a lot of pace in her shots, if she gives, if she hits short and gives time for Sajida to hit those shots, she's definitely going to use the angles and win points. I think Dinara should continuously keep hitting the ball deep and take space and time away from Sajida.
And when it's off, she should really be in the court. Because the last point, the second serve from Sajida was not that good, was not that deep.
Right.
The difference between the two is Sajida pounced on it when Dinara did the same.
And that first return of Dinara's was just hit hard but short, so didn't serve any purpose for her. Sajida, you can see, has started stroking the ball really well the last few points. After that double fault, I think she's hitting the ball really well.
And Dinara, I think the nerves are kicking in as well. Lots of pressure in a tie
Right.
break, because anything can happen in the spur of the moment. Sajida leading the
4-1
4-1.
in the tiebreaker, yeah.
And that one is also a
Double fault, and after that she played 4 really good points. Took the initiative, and Dinara also played into her hands by giving her pace but hitting short. Really poor drop shot by Sajida. Her
well
shots,
created point,
yeah,
but a
played
poor
the point very
execution
well
towards the
up to
end.
that point, but her shot selection was not the best at that time. Gave an easy opportunity for Dinara to put away.
Yes. It's still 4-2, but like I said before, the momentum, that's what's
This is the
important. It's
thing.
not
I
just
think-
about those
yeah.
individual points. As soon as you give away that momentum you have, it's really hard to get it back. So let's see whether Dinara
So
can...
Sajida still has a mini break, but
Yeah.
still, like you said, the momentum seems to have been stalled, at least for the time being. Whether Dinara will be able to make use of it is left to be seen.
And it's change of sides as well in the tie break after 6 points. The usual
Right.
practice is to change sides. So, who's serving? Is it Sajida?
It's Dinara serving.
Dinara.
4-2, yeah.
A big crowd gathered here as well. First Capital SSC Open Tennis Tournament, year 2024. One of the premier tennis tournaments in Sri Lanka, starting off the calendar year.
So Dinara serving at 2-4 down in the tiebreaker in the first set.
It's good that she's trying to create some pace on the first serve, but she has to get it in.
Let in the second serve. That was a very poor shot from Dinara. I mean, it was not a bad return from Sajida, but I don't think it put enough pressure on Dinara. Not enough for her to make a mistake, but she hit the bottom of the net. So it's 5-2 to Sajida serving, and if she gets these 2 points, the set will
Yeah.
be hers.
We saw Sajida hit in the bottom of the net as well, but that was at the start of the match, so that
Right.
is some sort of an excuse.
I know.
You could say getting into the game, but right now at this time.
Extremely well played, Riley. Finished off brilliantly by Dinara.
She
I
was on
thought
the defense at
She was defending right through the rally. I thought Sajida was in control. But I think Sajida missed a trick when she
that
put
turnaround forehand.
that and also the drop shot that she used
Yes.
wasn't the best, and that gave the initiative back to Dinara.
It's a good point.
Very good
Very
point.
good,
Very good point.
point.
5-3 to Sajida now.
Still a 2-point lead.
Yeah.
That's
good
good
serve, a very
serve,
good
it
first
is.
serve there. So that gives her 3 set points.
Something you haven't seen from
I know.
Sajida, but the fact that she used to do it shows the confidence she has, and also it's very timely. It's
Right,
a very smart
exactly.
play as well to get that free point,
Right.
which is very hard.
Especially after a point that was very well contested earlier, to get a free point like that. So it's 6-3 to Sajida, and Dinara serving to stay in the set.
Good serves from
So
both
a good
ends.
serve has saved the first set point. So it's 6-4 to Sajida, with Dinara left with one more serve.
You see a crowd gathering as well. Big crowd to watch the match. Pressure times to Dinara. Very hard to serve under this pressure. She has to start the point. Well, that's beautiful.
Excellent
That's
backhand down the line, which wins the set for Sajida. So it's 7-4 in the tiebreaker. The first set to Sajida.
That's brilliant. We haven't seen those backhands since the first 5 games from Sajida. Sajida has been using a backhand very well, but to finish off the set in that way, including her serve as well, the last service point she served with a good first serve to finish off it that way. And brilliant set of tennis for anyone who's seeing here. It's the first Capital SSC Open Tennis Tournament 2024 and the finals between the Women's Open Finals between Dinara De Silva and Sajida Razik. It's the first set that's done. Sajida leads Dinara for 1 set to love. It was 7-6 to Sajida and the tiebreak score was
7-4. So Sajida, I think, a deserving winner in that set. Although Dinara was playing steadier tennis, I think Sajida took more initiatives and that paid off in the end. And she was able to win very important points when it mattered, especially at 3-1 in the tiebreaker. There was a long rally, very good point, very well played, and it was won by Sajida very well, and followed it up with a very good first serve that got her a free point. So I think those are the points that kind of changed the set in a very tightly contested match.
Yeah, what we saw was Sajida, apart from the first few games, she was the one who was really playing offensive tennis out there.
Right.
Dinara sometimes was just playing to survive out there,
Right.
just putting it loopy and deep. But Sajida, the difference is whenever she tried to hit it deep and loopy, she had some pace behind it that would push Dinara behind the baseline. As opposed to Dinara, when she few times, yes, but most of the times when she tried to hit it a bit deep and loopy as well with a bit of height, it was quite soft. So Sajida, most of the time, did pounce on it.
And also I think Sajida mostly, I mean, she was pulling Dinara wide and using the open court extremely well.
Especially
She was
on
winning
forehand
points
cross
that way,
court, yes.
Forehand cross courts was setting it up for her to hit backhand down the line winners.
සිංගිතිසිනා ටීනේජ් කතා යුත් මවන සිහිනදිනා HMB සමගින් ගෙනෙනා අපි කාටත් ගැලපෙන ඉතිරියක් එට දින සරුවී සතුට ඉතිරිවි කාටත් ගැලපෙන ඉතිරියක්.
Enjoy the highest rewards and live life to your heart's content with savings that bring joy to life. HNB.
අපේ රසක් මේ අපේ තැනක් හැම හදවතකම රැඳෙන නමක් වසර 120ක් පුරා ශ්‍රී ලාංකේය රස හඳුනන අපිට ලංවුණු අපේ කමේ සංකේතය PNS
සිංගිතිසිනා ටීනේජ් කතා යුත් මවන සිහිනදිනා HMB සමගින් ගෙනෙනා අපි කාටත් ගැලපෙන ඉතිරියක් එට දින සරුවී සතුට ඉතිරිවි කාටත් ගැලපෙන ඉතිරියක්.
Enjoy the highest rewards and live life to your heart's content with savings that bring joy to life. HNB.
First Capital clinches back-to-back wins as the most valuable consumer brand in the investment banking sector, as awarded by Brand Finance and recognized amongst the top 100 brands in Sri Lanka. We thank our valuable customers and stakeholders for being a part of our success. First Capital, performance first, always.
රසට රසක් හමුවෙනා තැනක් හදට දැනෙන රස මවන තැනක් අපේ රසක් මේ අපේ තැනක් හැම හදවතකම රැඳෙන නමක්
වසර 120ක් පුරා ශ්‍රී ලාංකේය රස හඳුනන අපිට ලංවුණු අපේ කමේ සංකේතය PNS
සිංගිතිසිනා ටීනේජ් කතා යුත් මවන සිහිනදිනා HMB සමගින් ගෙනෙනා අපි කාටත් ගැලපෙන ඉතිරියක් හෙට දින සරුවී සතුට ඉතිරිවි කාටත් ගැලපෙන ඉතිරියක්
Enjoy the highest rewards and live life to your heart's content with savings that bring joy to life. HNB.
අපේ රසක් මේ අපේ තැනක් හැම හදවතකම රැඳෙන නමක්
වසර 120ක් පුරා ශ්‍රී ලාංකේය රස හඳුනන අපිට ලංවුණු අපේ කමේ සංකේතය PNS
First Capital clinches back-to-back wins as the most valuable consumer brand in the investment banking sector as awarded by Brand Finance and recognized amongst the top 100 brands in Sri Lanka. We thank our valuable customers and stakeholders for being a part of our success. First Capital. Performance first, always.
8 contenders, 1 champion. Nippon Paint Rugby League. 1st December onwards. Live on the Papare TV, Dialog TV Channel 126, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
අපේ රසක් මේ අපේ තැනක් හැම හදවතකම රැඳෙන නමක්
වසර 120ක් පුරා ශ්‍රී ලාංකේය රස හඳුනන අපිට ලංවුණු අපේ කමේ සංකේතය PNS
That was started with the same intensity as the beginning of the tiebreaker. Extremely good rally. It's,
Good serves by Dinara, but it seems to be going towards Sajida's forehand. She has
and
gotten
more
used
than
to
that,
the
I
pace
don't think
as
the
well.
pace is something that bothers Sajida. I think
Yes.
she's making good use of the pace that she's getting from Dinara. So it'll be best if Dinara can use depth and also pull
Pull her wide.
I think it's best that she serves down the middle rather than pulling her wide. Not giving her the angle. Things like placement of the serve or quick decisions that you have to make on the court, and those are things that will come with experience. So at the moment, I don't think Dinara has kind of picked on it yet, but she would realize that as soon as
Yes.
she starts seeing Sajida having freedom to hit.
She is in the game. She is still in the game.
Yes.
She just have to make those slight adjustments without completely changing her game plan. Again, cramped up for room. Unforced error by Sajida. The score is 30-all in the first game of the second set. It's a Women's Open singles final of the first Capital SSC Open Tennis Tournament. Dinara De Silva serving, and the score right now is 30-all.
Normal, not before 1, like in 1:38. The women's final is still being played. 7-6-2 Sajida.
Okay, beautiful point. Rallies in the center, and Sajida opening up the court as she has done plenty of times throughout this match, opening up the court from the backhand side that leaves, from the forehand side actually, that leaves the backhand of Dinara wide open so she can pounce on it. Another example of some beautiful tennis. Again, good serve, good comeback by Dinara, brings the game to a deuce. Every time these players have been able to go up, the other player has always pounced back, has always come back, and that's the beauty of competition. We see these players are extremely competitive. and it's not easy to run away with a match, especially in the finals, and the caliber of players these two are. And it's something exciting to see for all of us tennis fans out there.
Once again, Dinara was lucky to get away with it because average second serve was missed by Dinara, by Sajida. So it's advantage Dinara once again.
Again, a beautiful shot by Sajida. Dinara trying to bring Sajida in, but Sajida was equal to the task.
She read that very well and she was able to hit a good backhand slice for a winner.
But we haven't seen that many volleys in this match.
Other than the couple of drive volleys that we saw in the beginning of the first set, I don't think coming to net and winning points is in any other player's basic game plans.
Yes. But whenever they did come, they seem to be winning points. It's just that they haven't been able to. No one has been able to return it back
True,
in.
they were not
Actually,
coming to net to create something. They were coming to net to finish a point that they
Yes.
had already created.
yeah, questionable slice there by Sajid after opening up the court.
I mean, I was a bit surprised too because after creating space for herself, she didn't.
And it's not like she's
Yeah.
in short of confidence. She's been doing it repeatedly throughout this match.
Maybe there was a gust of wind. I don't know whether that kind of put her off.
It wasn't a drop shot either.
No,
It's just
that's
a
just a-
normal slice towards the baseline. That.
Very well played
That's
point by
beautiful
Sajida.
volley. Finally, we get to see a volley, but a very well crafted point. They're using the pace of Dinara as well. What a beautiful return that was.
Right. I
You
think
could also say that the ball was kind of going out in that.
but still, I think, I mean, it was following up on the two shots she hit. She had to hit that volley to finish it. I think she's been playing most of the creative tennis here, Sajida.
But the important of the slice is had she won It's Dinara.
So Dinara,
Point.
having won the first game in the second set, it's Sajida serving in the second set now.
Yes, it's 30-15.
30-15.
Some good defense from Sajida as well. Dinara just
Dinara seems
forced
to be
Dinara into doing something much more than what was expected of her. The backhand down the line, trying to go for the lines as well, mistimed it, missed the lines completely, and the ball was out, giving Sajida an opportunity to level the set. It's actually 40-15 to Sajida, and the second set score is 1-0 to Dinara. There seems to be umpire seems to be confused with the score there, but the ball is out. Sajida won the point, and it's 40-15. Oh, that's a beautiful lob. Beautiful
very well
lob.
played by Sajida.
Good approach by Dinara, but you see the reluctance in those drive volleys because of the previous misses in the first set. And to see it's such a beautiful lob from the backhand by Sajida, taking it over Dinara and giving Dinara no chance to get back into the point or even recover. That's just such
So the
brilliant
problem
tennis.
about hitting drive volleys is that once you hit those shots, you're out of position. So unless you hit something really convincing, you're very vulnerable. That is exactly what happened where Dinara was caught out with a really good lob from Sajida. So it's 1-1, Dinara serving.
I think the onus right now from both of these players, whenever they approach and hit drive volleys, is to get the ball in rather than put the opponent in trouble.
Exactly, you're quite right, Vibhuda.
That's the problem right here.
Oh, brilliant
Brilliant
backhand down
shot.
the
We've
line
seen
by
this a
Sajida.
couple of times already from Sajida. And that's just brilliant. That's a tough shot to hit the backhand down the line on the deuce scored, returning a serve. And yeah, puts her in prime position, puts more emphasis on Dinara's serve, forces her to do much more. And there it is, the pressure. First serve fault. Will we see another winner by Sajida on this Dinara's second serve? Again, that's the pressure building up.
So it's love 30 with a double fault. I think Dinara should be serving down the middle more to Sajida in order to neutralize Sajida's ability to make use of the angles and wide serves.
Sajida's presence right there, already immediately on top of the baseline,
Exactly.
ready to pounce on a weak second serve. Almost inside the baseline right now. Again,
Same thing
again.
happened. I mean, when the serve is wide, that gives Sajida the opportunity of making use of the angle. She could go down the line or cross court, whereas if she serves down the middle, that will
Yes.
not allow her to have an angle, and hitting down the middle would be to Dinara's advantage.
Much like that, Dinara.
That was more like it. I mean, that is what she should be doing. It's two break points, 15-40.
15-40. And Sajida's hitting the lines as well, so she's getting those opportunities. Still an uphill climb. A good first serve. That's too good. Two serves, putting Sajida in trouble. But still,
30-40.
Sajida's break point. One more left. Well, that's a good
Outside,
comeback
she
by
missed the
Dinara.
opportunity of clinching that point, so it's back to deuce now.
That right there was the opportunity to get a lead in the second set. Now Dinara squares things up in her own service game. It's deuce. See what kind of serves she will use to make sure she gets this game. I think she's targeting the middle area, isn't it? Middle area, the body serve towards Sajida.
I think she realizes that serving wide is causing her too many problems with Sajida's returns. Excellent shot by
Beautiful,
Dinara.
beautiful. We're seeing some brilliant tennis in the second set from both the players. Usually we saw one player dominating a game and the other player dominating the next game. Now, but this in the same game we've seen some tremendous shots from both the players.
So Dinara needs to create a situation where she gets Sajida to play the kind of tennis that can get the best out of Dinara. So she's struggling to find that. Once again, a serve down the middle.
A brilliant
Hurt,
hold by Dinara.
From love 40 down
From
to come
love
back and
40.
win. That was a very important hold for Dinara. So she holds and is up 2-1.
And it was a crucial, had it been Sajida's game, that would have been a crucial lead as well. So it's 2-1 in Dinara's favor. Sajida lost an opportunity there. Okay, it's 2-1. Sajida serving in the second set of the First Capital SSC Open Tennis Tournament 2024 Women's Singles Final. The two players, Sajida Razik, the defending champion, and it is Dinara De Silva, who's facing the top seed in Sri Lanka tennis right now, who's facing Sajida. Okay, an attempt to drop. Was she really behind Sajida for her to attempt that? But what we've seen in the recent times, even in the international arena, is the increase in the usage of the drop shot, especially with Carlos Alcaraz. Yes.
Even Djokovic uses it quite a lot now.
So when one player brings something in, the others have to adapt.
Yes, true.
It's quite amazing to see. Alcaraz seems to be like a powerful player, but he relies heavily on his drop shots.
Exactly. I think that's part of how he makes use of the effectiveness of his ground strokes. Doesn't let the opponent have the safety behind baseline all the time.
Yeah, a bit too much by Dinara there, Sajida, making sure she's alive in this point. Very good round strokes, defending very well. And what's interesting is the movement going sideways by both these players. It's been impressive. Both of them have been able to go toe-to-toe with their ground strokes, which is a usual sign when it comes to women's tennis, whether it be in Sri Lanka or in the international stage, the WTA Tour. As a female tennis player, you have to have good ground strokes, and the prime example is the current world number one and the most dominating female player in the tennis tour, Iga Swiatek. It's a double fault, a rare occurrence in this match.
So it's 30 all.
Okay, here's a chance. It is 30-40, Dinara De Silva, cusp of grabbing a 2-game lead, which is a rare thing. I think we saw it once in the first set, the first 2 games. 2-love at 4-2. That's beautifully
Excellently played
constructed
by Dinara.
Dinara.
She absorbed the pressure during the last couple of games and has started kind of moving ahead. So she's up by 3-1 and serving.
Is there any sign of discomfort with Sajida?
Seems to be a little bit of discomfort where she seems to be moving with some difficulty.
Shoulder, seems.
She seems to be in some kind of distress. It's interesting to see what it is.
And it's interesting to see if it is something, when she'll get the treatment. Dinara's on the offensive this time. She's already leading 3-1 in this set, and that's a good way to start this game in order to ensure that potentially she could go into the break leading for 1.
You could see that she seems to be in control now and is playing with much more freedom because the pressure that is coming from Sajida has kind of abated somewhat.
And in hindsight, you can see how crucial that 40-love game was.
Right.
How Dinara held it. Pressure is building up now. Sajida is trying to do a bit too much. Good serves by Dinara.
There seems a little bit of desperation in Sajida's game where she's not doesn't seem too interested in constructing a point, and she seems to be going for broke very early in the game,
and even
in the point,
and
the movement seems restricted, so it's playing into Dinara's hands right now.
The fire she had seems to have diminished quite a bit. Dinara taking advantage of it right now. Serving for a potential 3-game lead, but double falls.
So yet another game point, 40-30.
Potential 3-game lead. A very good cushion to have, a 3-game lead.
Definitely, especially on the comeback trail.
Beautiful point, beautiful.
Some really good
from the
shots
start.
from Dinara, from Sajida.
From the start with a good return. It just gives everything for the point, isn't it? If the return is good.
Deuce or 30 all. So So decent serve by Dinara, was able to get a return a serve error from Sajida, and it's game point once again to Dinara. Good serve there down the middle, which should be the tactic that she should be adapting at most times. So with that break, she's up to 4-1.
Quite interesting to see Sajida seems a bit disinterested. Wasn't that big of a powerful serve?
No, I know, but at least by surprise, because it came down the middle, and most of the serves have been out wide. And
that's the biggest lead of the match.
Like you said, I don't think there was much effort put in trying to get the ball back. So the biggest lead of the match, 4-1 to Dinara.
The first capital.
Possible that injury timeout taken by Sajida. Let's check.
Yeah. In the meantime, it's the first capital SSC Open Tennis Tournament 2024. We see lots of other matches going on other courts, junior events, singles finals going on, some doubles matches as well. It's always good to see young players play doubles. It's fantastic to see them express themselves in court, try something out other than their conventional singles matches. And even now the singles matches are very exciting to see. And the tournament, backed by First Capital, has always kept their standards and help elevate young tennis players.
Yeah, so Sajida has asked for injury timeout, and the physio is examining her. It's a back pain leading up to the shoulder that she seems to be having. Probably it's
some
apart from,
stiffness.
yes, it's actually the back that they are kind of treating, but also leading up to the shoulder. So there could be some kind of definitely there must be some kind of effect on the strokes that she's playing, but also maybe on her movement as well.
But could she have taken it at 3-1 though?
I'm not too sure. I don't think you can take an injury timeout in the middle of a game. It has to be at a break.
I see.
Yeah. So the assessment from the physio now will decide whether it's going to be an injury break, because first you have to determine that it's not cramp and it's injury.
Yes.
Once that has been established, then you can get up to 5 minutes for treatment.
Yeah, a cramp is not classified as an injury according to the tennis rules.
Yes.
And now
I know that you're a person who has your cramps during.
I have to specify it. Yes. Never really had the opportunity to ask for a timeout, because it's obvious that if I get cramps, anybody knows if I do ask for a timeout, it is. Yeah, isn't easy. Maybe some blood coming out of
I
nose or
guess
something.
that probably would have been something that would convince the referee or the umpire.
Yeah, well, obviously I'm not telling you to go, cheat the system or anything, but sometimes desperate times, desperate measures.
Only thing that would work, right?
Yeah, you just do stuff to win, as long as it's not illegal or against the rules. I think it's quite perfectly fine.
So when you played the SSC Open final, did you get cramps in that match?
It was severely dehydrated, and then in the finals it was reluctance to push through
to
see how far I can go physically, and that's the thing. Best of 3 sets in 2021,
right.
And that's the thing about if you get cramps, because it really puts a stop mentally as well,
Exactly.
because you can't really push yourself.
You're not getting the best out of what you can do, right? And I think that was the first year that we had a
exactly.
Telecast of the finals.
Yes, it was me against
Luca Nessa, yeah.
And his brother is also here playing tennis.
Yes. This time, no. Both, even Luca played the doubles. Luca and the brother played doubles, and Luca only played the doubles.
Yes, he had to go back to the US. I think, for
so
studies.
The doubles, I think they lost to Yasita and Dilwan Herat, the top seeds who
went on to win the tournament. Yes. And interesting thing about injury timeouts is Tsitsipas. The name Tsitsipas always comes up when it comes to timing, and he's the reason I think we have lots of timings now when it comes to serves and everything.
Yeah, so they know to use the system in order to get strategic breaks.
Finally,
game
a
has started. She's
great
back on
drive. A great drive volley by Sajida. Seems to be comfortable right now.
comfortable, or she believes that her best chance is to take chances and
Maybe not
will-
extend it to a third set.
right. So we probably will see some interesting tennis. And that's a fault, close serve.
The thing about injury timeouts is with regards to Djokovic and all, he takes it at a proper time.
Exactly.
Smart.
Exactly. He really puts the opponent off. The momentum shift happens straight away. And also, what it creates in the minds of the opponent is the opponent feels that with Djokovic having an injury, that there's something he should exploit.
Yes.
And he stops playing the game. That
Maybe
was
gives him a
successful
bit
up to
more
that
hope.
point.
Yes.
Definitely.
It's hard to get some hope playing against Djokovic.
No, so most of the time, Djokovic comes up with the injury timeout when he's down. Another excellent shot by Sajida. I think you can see that she has decided to take chances.
And that comes from experience. When exactly can you get it? That's why I asked. At 3-1 would have been a perfect time.
Right.
Then she wouldn't be facing a 3.
4-1. which
Yes,
is
4-1.
almost insurmountable
Yes.
in a way, yes. Good rally and
Yes. Despite it going
great
out,
point.
Dinara seems to be on the offense
Right.
and meeting the ball very early this time.
I think Dinara is determined to continue with the momentum that she has gained.
Yes.
She
And make
doesn't want to let
Sajida
go
play
of that.
more. The more Sajida plays, the more likely that she'll feel more discomfort. And that's the thing about injuries. Sometimes Sajida might be perfectly fine, but the opponent might not know.
Possible.
Shall I?
So this is a very important game for Sajida to make a move in the second set or not. So it's 15 love, 4-2 up
4-2.
to Dinara.
If Dinara can come up with some good first serves, that will put some real pressure on Sajida. Good defending, lots of change of pace, but just couldn't stay in the point there. They're giving a 30 love lead to Dinara.
So importantly, if she holds this game, she'll be up 5-2. And
Sajida will be serving.
she'll be serving, but still I think 5-2 will be a decisive lead from which Dinara will feel comfortable enough to proceed with getting the set. So it's 40 love on the cusp of a 5-2 lead.
Yes.
And at this break, we will be having Amrita Mutaya joining us. She's not just a member of the organizing committee, but former champion at the SSC Open as well. So he will be speaking to another former finalist of the SSC Open, Vibhuda, who is my co-commentator. So she will join us at the end of this game.
But I think we can't forget she's a multiple national champion as well.
So I was trying to show the importance of the SSC Open over the nationals.
Standards are definitely. The amount of player attraction as well.
So that's 5-2 to Dinara, and So Amrita will come and take over now and join the all yours. And the men's final.
Alright, it's the first Capital SSC Open Tennis Tournament 2024, the Women's Open Finals between Sajida Razik, the defending champion, and the current number one in Sri Lanka, Dinara De Silva. It's Amrita joining in with me. Hello.
Hi, Bibita. Hello.
Interesting thing Aruna said about the importance of the SSC tournament. Obviously, you are a multiple national champion, so I don't think I can be on the same bracket as you. But still, you've had your own personal memories with the SSC tournament. Care to share about it?
Oh yes, SSC has always been like my pet tournament, and I've won SSC for like 7 consecutive years, and like each and every
in the down low.
But each and every final I can still remember, and how tough it was, and how I had to like compete in such a high level to get through all those 7 to win all those 7 titles. So I mean, it has been memorable to me, and SSC will always be a memorable tournament, because I mean, not only just me playing, but also the organizing of the tournament. I mean, I've always like I've witnessed like how organized these tournaments are, and how they put in so much effort to prepare the courts beforehand. So it has been a wonderful experience.
Sajida serving to stay in the set. Dinara's on the offensive.
Lovely.
It's a good shot. And speaking of this tournament now, actually this current tournament, the 2024 edition, we have 2 finalists here. Do you happen to catch them play tennis before?
I've seen them play, but I've never played against them. I mean, the level of tennis I see here is absolutely amazing, and how Dinara is like trying to get through, and she's not giving up. You can see that she's fighting hard, and it's great to see
as
such.
well.
Exactly.
The second serve. Sajida seems to have lost interest in the second set, it seems.
And I feel she's a little bit down, and her serves are like not as offensive as it was before. I think
and you can see Dinara already doing what she did in the first set. What Sajida did in the first set, rather. Trying to attack the second serve, putting more pressure on Sajida, and then that led to that double fault. It's love 40, 3 break points and 3 set points to Dinara De Silva to level the score.
And I think here is where this is where your mental stability comes into play, like how much mentally strong you are, like not giving up, still fighting through. I mean, right now you can see a big difference on that mental aspect between the 2 players.
Yeah, and that's the second set. It's set all. First set going Sajida's way, and the second set comfortably Dinara leading. Dinara winning the second set by 6 games to 2. It's set all, and we are moving on to a deciding set. You're cute.
He told me until the set is over. I'm assuming, I can step out.
එච්චම්බි සමගින් ගෙනෙනා අපි කාටත් ගැලපෙන ඉතිරියක් හෙට දින සරුවී සතුට ඉතිරිවි කාටත් ගැලපෙන ඉතිරියක්.
Enjoy the highest rewards and live life to your heart's content with savings that bring joy to life. HNB.
අපේ රසක් මේ අපේ තැනක් හැම හදවතකම රැඳෙන නමක්
වසර 120ක් පුරා ශ්‍රී ලාංකේය රස හඳුනන අපිට ලංවුණු අපේ කමේ සංකේතය PNS.
සිංගිතිසිනා ටීනේජ් කතා යුත් මවන සිහිනදිනා එච්චම්බි සමගින් ගෙනෙනා අපි කාටත් ගැලපෙන ඉතිරියක් හෙට දින සරුවී සතුට ඉතිරිවි කාටත් ගැලපෙන ඉතිරියක්.
Enjoy the highest rewards and live life to your heart's content with savings that bring joy to life. HNB.
First Capital clinches back-to-back wins as the most valuable consumer brand in the investment banking sector, as awarded by Brand Finance and recognized amongst the top 100 brands in Sri Lanka. We thank our valuable customers and stakeholders for being a part of our success. First Capital, performance first, always.
රසට රසක් හමුවෙනා තැනක් හදට දැනෙන රස මවන තැනක් අපේ රසක් මේ අපේ තැනක් හැම හදවතකම රැඳෙන නමක්
වසර 120ක් පුරා ශ්‍රී ලාංකේය රස හඳුනන අපිට ලංවුණු අපේ කමේ සංකේතය PNS.
සිංගිතිසිනා ටීනේජ් කතා යුත් මවන සිහිනදිනා එච්චම්බි සමගින් ගෙනෙනා අපි කාටත් ගැලපෙන ඉතිරියක් හෙට දින සරුවී සතුට ඉතිරිවි කාටත් ගැලපෙන ඉතිරියක්.
Enjoy the highest rewards and live life to your heart's content with savings that bring joy to life. HNB.
අපේ රසක් මේ අපේ තැනක් හැම හදවතකම රැඳෙන නමක්
වසර 120ක් පුරා ශ්‍රී ලාංකේය රස හඳුනන අපිට ලංවුණු අපේ කමේ සංකේතය PNS.
First Capital clinches back-to-back wins as the most valuable consumer brand in the investment banking sector, as awarded by Brand Finance and recognized amongst the top 100 brands in Sri Lanka. We thank our valuable customers and stakeholders for being a part of our success. First Capital, performance first, always.
8 contenders, 1 champion. Nippon Paint Rugby League. 1st December onwards. Live on the Papare TV, Dialog TV Channel 126, Dialog ViU app and ThePapare.com, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
අපේ රසක් මේ අපේ තැනක් හැම හදවතකම රැඳෙන නමක්
වසර 120ක් පුරා ශ්‍රී ලාංකේය රස හඳුනන අපිට ලංවුණු අපේ කමේ සංකේතය PNS.
ශ්‍රී ලාංකීය ක්‍රීඩා විකාශනයේ මෙතෙක් අත් නොවිති නව්‍යතම අත්දැකීම් සමගින් ක්‍රීඩා ටෙලිවිෂනයේ සම්ප්‍රාප්තිය ThePapare TV ඩාලොග් ටෙලිවිෂන් නාලිකාංක 126 ඔස්සේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව.
රසට රසක් හමුවෙනා තැනක් හදට දැනෙන රස මවන තැනක් අපේ රසක් මේ අපේ තැනක් හැම හදවතකම රැඳෙන නමක්
වසර 120ක් පුරා ශ්‍රී ලාංකේය රස හඳුනන අපිට ලංවුණු අපේ කමේ සංකේතය PNS.
The new year will be met with fanfare. No one's going to sleep. No stone will be left unturned. Presenting DP World ILT 20 Season 2. Starts January 19th, 8 p.m. Live on the Papare, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel. The history maker of sport. Innovative. Incomparable.
unleashing an experience. The Papare TV. Now exclusively on Dialog TV channel number 126, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
රසට රසක් හමුවෙන තැනක් හදට දැනෙන රස මවන තැනක් අපේ රසක් මේ අපේ තැනක් හැම හදවතකම රැඳෙන නමක්
වසර 120ක් පුරා ශ්‍රී ලාංකේය රස හඳුනන අපිට ලංවුණු අපේ කමේ සංකේතය PNS.
The new year will be met with fanfare. No one's going to sleep. There'll be fireworks all around. And eat all kinds of food. Even ice trays will be in short supply. No stone will be left unturned. The first T20 challenge of the new year is here. Presenting DP World ILT20 Season 2. Live on the Papare, Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel.
Smashed it for 6.
Okay. Well, that's a fantastic rally to start off the third and final set of this Women's Open final of the first capital SSC Open Tennis Tournament 2024 between Sajida Razlik and Dinara De Silva. Dinara De Silva serving in this third set. And with me is Amrita, the national champion, multiple national champion, in case I've forgotten, and also of course, importantly, multiple SSC Open tennis champion as well. So again, the score right now is 15-love in favor of Sajida. Seem to have had some discomfort towards the latter stages of the second set. Dinara easily overcoming Sajida in the second set and winning it 6-2. A miss hit by Sajida, 15-all. And can I ask you something interesting though? In the second set, Sajida took a medical timeout. What are your past experiences with regards to medical timeouts? Have you come off of it feeling better and move on to win the match, or has it always been something that's something of a bad experience?
So that reminds me of one of my finals at the SSC Open, where it was 6-all, and it was a tiebreaker, and I took a medical.
In the first set?
This was the second set, and actually my opponent had like multiple. She was having multiple match points.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this was the third set. I'm so sorry.
Third set.
The third set, multiple match points. But then I did take a medical timeout, and which played in favor of me, I would say, because I ended up winning the match. So I think it depends how you use it and
when you use it
and
as
when
well.
you use it as well, exactly. And I think the third set is going to be very critical, and the first few games really going to matter for Dinara or Sajida.
So the treatment you get in those timeouts, does it actually help you out in a way?
It's more of like an instant relief for you to carry forward, depending on when you take it and at which point or which which part of the game you take it. I think that really matters. And for me, the match which I was referring to at that time, it was really helpful.
So it's more or less a mental treatment rather than a physical. Yeah, it lessens the discomfort, but gives you a break too.
It gives you, let's say you're having like a long rally and a long, couple of games, it's quite harmless to take one of that sort.
So can you take it in the middle of the game as well?
I think middle of the, between change.
Between a change. In a change. So at 3-1 you can't really take a medical time.
Did she take one during the
4-1 actually.
4-1.
She took
I
it
think
during
that
the
should
break.
go, yeah.
Yes. Okay. It's Dinara serving Still the first game of the first Capital SSC Open Tennis Tournament 2024, and it is the women's single final.
That's
Yes,
Dinara staying in the game.
Sajida seems to be a bit impatient, has lost the coolness in the game, and trying to force things out, it seems.
Yeah. This is Sajida is trying to get into a more of an offensive play, and Dinara is defensive, but keeping it very deep, and making forcing Sajida to make mistakes.
Could it be that she feels a bit discomfort, so she doesn't want to be in longer rallies, so she doesn't want to play more shots, or is it just that she's in a pressure situation?
I think she thinks like being like she just wants to change the rhythm a bit. She wants to go for her shots, and I think she just have to be a little bit careful, because it's the start of the third set, and every game matters, because this is the last set, and you just have to be very smart with the choices you make, whether you want to stay in the game or whether you want your opponent to force them to make the mistakes.
And one thing me and Arun also discussed previously was the importance of the serve in the women's game compared to especially the gentlemen's game. Why do you think the serve is not as big in this game, or the emphasis is not as much? Because in the first set we saw lots of breaks.
I mean, I don't know if it's just me, or I could be wrong, but during when I was even training, I used to give a lot of emphasis to my forehand and backhand, and very little practice I would do with my serves, because I never thought that aspect of it, it was very important, which I was wrong about. I mean, serve, if you have a very big, powerful first serve, you can just get so many easy points, or even, let's say, if it's quite a hard serve, you get an easy return back, which you can attack further the third shot. It could be so, I think the emphasis we give and how important we feel a serve would be is something which it differs from individuals to individual, but I see in this game both of them trying to get in their first serves in, whereas sometimes you can see Sajida putting in her second serve as a first serve. She's just playing it safe.
Yes, and she has even in the first set she was relying on the first serve percentage was not that good. She was relying on a second serve, but the second serves were deep and had a kick to it towards the backhand.
Serves,
Yes, that really helped her win some points. Very few double faults in this match, which is something, obviously, me as a player, that's not something I usually saw in me. Very few double faults. That's really not something I would do. But I think the first double fault came in the entire match. The first double fault came in the first point of the first set tiebreak.
Oh.
That long. But since then, I think Sajida put a couple more double faults. Dinara one more as well.
I mean, this is the third set, Vibhuda, and then you should understand they're tired, their arms are tired.
And the weather is not helping.
Exactly, it's just way too hot. And there are so many other factors involved in getting that serve in.
But is the weather hot compared to the times you used to play?
I think it's better, yes.
Very hot.
Very hot.
But do you agree with the fact that the women's finals is played at 11 a.m.?
It's a terrible idea.
And the men's final much later.
I think that's all right. See, this is quite a long match, and I think there'll be a break, and then comes the other match. So, but 11 o'clock. Oh God!
Yeah.
So during my time, I remember it started at 9. Better than this.
But play from 9, say, till around 11, the sun is still rising, so it gets a bit worse. But yeah, it definitely is much more hotter. Sri Lankan conditions doesn't help because it's not just hot, it's humid as well. Extremely humid. You see some young players playing wearing black as well. In other courts. I don't think that helps it at all. Sajida getting into this match. One. And the score right now is 1-all. Two good games to start of the deciding set of this match. Two good holes by Dinara and Sajida. Now Dinara is serving. Hopefully to get a 2-1 lead. Sajida hoping to break Dinara's serve and gain that momentum moving forward. Yeah, good return opened up, but rushed it through.
Exactly. Impatient, very impatient as Sajida.
When it comes to their facial expressions and the entire demeanor as well, Dinara seems to be much more comfortable. Sajida seems to be a bit reluctant and a bit nervous as well. Doesn't help, does it?
I am someone who want to like, my personality is such that I would, like after every point I would say, come on, let's go for it, like, a bit more motivated, and so that, that helps in the other way, like you put a little bit of more pressure on your opponent.
That's
that
beautiful
was a lovely drop by
drop.
Dinara.
Still no come on though.
I know.
I haven't heard a come on in the entire match.
Body language matters a lot, and how you portray yourself to your opponent, it makes a big difference.
It pumps you up personally as well, Sometimes you're a bit nervous, you just need that extra bit of
a little bit of
support and encouragement by yourself, because tennis is a very lonely sport.
Yeah.
You just don't have people around you. The crowd is there, but personally there is no guidance out there.
Lovely serve by Dinara.
Yeah, good first serve, lots of pace in that compared to Sajida, who more relies on precision than power. Again, a good point, good first serve it started off with. Opening up the court. The organizers wanting Amrithar. Some negotiations going on to keep the former champion in her seat. She's of course here to end other duties, let's just say. But anyways, it's good to see everyone coming here to watch a final like this. It's very rare we see a crowd whilst playing tennis.
And it brings everyone together.
Yeah.
That's the best part of the sport. I mean, whether you've been around or not been, and I'm hearing that a lot of people watching this from different parts of the world. So it brings us together.
Yeah. And it's a live telecast as well. Would you have wished you had one live telecast?
I wish, yeah.
Because it's on the internet. It's on the internet forever.
I never had like this amount of coverage during my time. I wish. I really wish it was
Some sort of a memorabilia. You can watch show. Good start to the game by Sajida, who is down 2-1 right now. Started off with a good wide serve as well. And speaking about the audience, especially the young players, the girls out there, they might want to play like Sajida. They might want to play like Dinara. Some actually might want to beat them in the future. So to come here and experience it firsthand, rather than just looking at the draw. Okay, someone won the scores, and all the scores really don't say anything. Yeah. Again, not really the response you'd expect from Sajida after such a good point to start of the game.
Did not make use of winning that point there. But I think Dinara is more stable here. And I think she's trying to get more points in.
Again, another good wide serve, opening up the court. Dinara's defense was good, but it was Sajida who comes out on top. Brilliant point. That's two good serves from the due side.
Did you notice that Sajida has a better game in the mid-court?
Yeah.
Volleys to her approach.
And meeting the ball early to create those short balls as well. Dinara responds with a backhand down the line to that first serve. Which was good, by the way, by Sajida. She double faulted in the previous point on that side, but Dinara just comes back, and something we saw in the first set, continuously coming at each other, which that's just elevates the competitiveness of the players. And 6-all tie break, that shows how hard it was to win that first set. Now the nerves kicking in, I guess. Hitting the bottom of the net, not something you want to see. I think there's belief there as well.
But more confident.
Yeah. She's 30-40 down? Or is it 30-40?
30-40, yes.
Yes, that's game. And it's another 2-game lead to Dinara, which we only saw once in the first set. In the second set upwards, Dinara got the lead from 2-1 to 3-1 and just didn't look back at all. Now, is it going to be the same? Mood seems likely, but hopefully Sajida can come back and make this set a competitive one, because obviously the weather isn't helping her either. It's tiring as well. You see the other matches, the youngsters are playing, the boys. I think there's a final going out there as well in the first capital SSC Open Tennis Tournament. They're already tired the way they play at the start of the match. They're playing 3-setters. Second set 6-love. Interesting. Dinara has some power on his serve, doesn't she? More than Sajida. And despite
Usually when you're on a lead, I think that also gives you a lot of confidence to go for a shot.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot. That's something we saw from Sajida in the first set, how she capitalized on Dinara's weaker second serve compared to Sajida, who has a first serve and a second serve doesn't seem to have that big of a difference in the first place. But Dinara kept holding her serve primarily with those first serves. Now Sajida seems to be on the offensive. That's two good returns, again forcing an error out of Dinara, pushing her back. That gives her a 30-love lead in this set. And a kind reminder, is the first capital SSC Open Tennis Tournament 2024. It's the Women's Open Singles Final, and it'll be followed by the Men's Open Singles Final. So stay tuned if you want to watch and catch more of the tennis action here from the SSC Tournament, first capital SSC. A tournament that elevates players and brings the entire tennis community together in Sri Lanka, which is a small one, but still is an interesting and enthusiastic one. Dinara serving here with a 3-1 lead in the deciding set. Yeah, that's a good start to the game. Put some immediate pressure on Sajida, especially considering it's the third set and she's already under pressure with a 3-1 deficit.
I think having a good serve is very advantageous.
Quite big. See, Sajida is already on top of the baseline, so she's waiting to pounce on it. Ooh, that's a good shot, but it hit the line. It's a very good shot by Dinara there with the backhand cross court, despite the fact that it was a very good return by Sajida. So the intensity is there. Dinara still fighting despite her having a comfortable lead. Sajida is just trying to stay in the match, and Dinara is not allowing her to gain that momentum, which is something we didn't see in the first set. They gave each other the momentum rather than securing it. And now it's 15-all Dinara serving with a 3-1 lead, like I said before. Ooh. Lucky return there by Sajida, but those are the points you take, especially now. Sajida will welcome it. It's 30-15. Now it's a matter of just winning 2 points in a row, which I think if you were up to date with the Australian Open, I talked with Aruna as well, Rai Bikina's match recently. I think in the third set it was 20-22, the third set tiebreak. 20-22. That's like the largest tiebreak in Grand Slam history. Can you? Rai Bikina lost. Yeah, but imagine playing 20 points without winning 2 points in a row. Seems impossible.
But that has happened in the men's matches as well, right?
But that's more games, isn't it? Not the tie breaks itself.
Is it?
The Isner Mahmood one was a 70-68 over. That's crazy in itself, that 11-hour match.
And how long was the Rai Bikina's match?
Not really sure about the time, but it was a third set 20-22 tie break in the 6-all 20-22 tie break. What do you think about drive volleys? Drive volleys, though. At the start of the match, both of them missed it a lot. But the girls' game, especially the women's game, they use.
Sajida was hitting a lot of nice drive volleys. I mean, her mid-court game is really perfect. I think she needs to utilize the shots more, especially with Dinara and some shots. Like when you feel that you can get on top of it, that's where Sajida should come in, and that might make a big difference, especially in the third set.
But compared to the gentleman's game, me personally, in the sense that I wouldn't really use a drive volley unless I have to, but in the women's game there seems to be more emphasis on the drive volley as opposed to, obviously, we want to just whack the ball as much as possible.
I mean, for me, it was always been like a baseline game. I'm not someone who had like a lot of different shots, different selection of shots, I would say. So, but I mean, if you do, because for me, my emphasis was more on like the back game. Like I would, keep on returning.
The backhand game, the return
yes,
game.
the backhand game has been my strength. And for other people, it could be different, where your mid court would be your strength, where you come in, you get some volleys in. I think it differs. But Sajida has a very good mid game, you can see.
Yeah, good start to her game, her serve, Sajida, and it is first of all, I have to appreciate Amrita, who was with us and who's enjoying tennis as usual, since of course a long time tennis is part of your life, I guess.
Yes, it has been.
Will
And
always
thank
be.
you so much. It'll always be, exactly. And thank you so much for having me. And I'm so glad to witness such a wonderful game. And thank you, Vibhuda.
Yep. Thank you so much. Hopefully you stay on to enjoy the match as well. And we have our usual, Mr. Aruna Ratna, coming back, taking back his seat.
Thank you. Thanks,
Forcefully, it
Amrita.
seems?
No, not really forcefully. It was mutually consensual. So, she was. It was a good break, I guess, to have a softer voice than mine. Yeah.
But you're coming back with a big lead to Dinara, leading 4-1 right now. Sajida hasn't seemed to have picked on, or rather carried on the momentum from the first game in the second set, which he started off the second set well, but since then it's been.
So I think it would have been a combination of factors. There may have been that physical impairment to some extent that would have hampered her. Plus, Dinara, although she was slow in adjusting her game to suit what Sajida was doing, but little by little her adjustment also started working against Sajida.
Didn't allow Sajida to come back. That's
exactly.
most important.
I mean, she wasn't putting balls in her hitting zone and hitting the middle and then creating gaps out wide. So it's 5-1 to Dinara.
That's a fairly
now.
quick game as well. So it's 5-1 on the cusp of a victory, a championship, serving for the championship against the defending champion. So it's a nice circle. If you look at it, lost in the semi-finals last year to the eventual runner-up Nyara Veeravansa. Now this time Dinara de Silva has one hand on the trophy already in the championship. But of course it's tennis, anything can happen. But this time, at this stage of the match, it's a 5-1 4-game cushion, and Dinara de Silva is serving for the championship. Start off with double fault. Something you can do, but still not something you want to do. The last thing, Dinara.
It's very important that you close out matches when you have the opportunity. When in this situation, I think the cushion is comfortable enough, but still, I think it's a habit that you should have within you. You know, that streak in you where you kind of take the opportunities when they come.
Yeah. It's all stemmed from that 40-love game which Sajida was leading. That is the catalyst for what has transpired so far.
Serious turning point in the game, match, I would say.
But the people won't realize it. Obviously, they'll look at the score and say that. But that particular game right there, losing 5 points in a row, Sajida, really.
See, that also kind of reinforced belief in Dinara's mind, I guess, that she was still in with a chance.
Doing the almost impossible always does that. Helps you mentally as well. And right now it's 15-all.
Another soft error by Sajida, and Dinara 30-15 lead.
Seems to be resigned, Sajida, to the inevitable, it seems.
It looks as though Sajida is going through the motions now, not really making an effort to mount a serious challenge anymore.
But nonetheless, it was a very good very good match.
I think the first set was
Very
really
good, very
entertaining set.
competitive.
Very good level of tennis, and the competitiveness was there right throughout the game.
And the thing you need to remember the most is that both these players are very young. Very
Right.
young, still in the under-18s.
Not
Sajida is
Sajida
still in the
out of the under
under-18s.
but Dinara is still under 16.
Yes.
Dinara is the mainstay in the junior Billie Jean King Cup team.
Has a chance to play in this same competition this year as well.
Yes, this year in the pre-qualifying that is to be held in Sri Lanka in February, she'll be leading the team along with Ivanka Samarasinghe, the US-based player who's come through the trials, and Arushi Thomas. So
Ivanka Samarasinghe won the under-16s here in the under-18 here at SSC.
So I think we have a very good chance of making it out of the pre-qualifying this time with that strong team. Very well played by Dinara.
And now it's championship point.
Championship point for Dinara.
Grueling match. Almost 2 hours. More than 2 hours it seems. Time right now is 1:40.
Yeah, it's. I would say it's a little more than 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah. Match commenced at 11:20. Then there was a injury timeout, but still
Yes.
all that is considered as the duration of the match. So second serve. Yeah.
And that's it. That's the
Outside,
championship.
So that's championship to Dinara. So
And
6-7, 6-2, 6-1. So the 2024 SSC Open champion is Dinara De Silva.
It's a fantastic encounter. Congratulations, Dinara De Silva, as well as Sajida Razik, for giving us the entertainment that we so craved for, especially the tennis enthusiasts out there. Everyone who's watching this live telecast. It was a fantastic tennis affair. Both players competing at their very best, firing some tremendous tennis strokes throughout the entirety of the match. A fantastic and competitive first set, and of course Dinara then in cruise control in the second set, partly of course considering the discomfort and injuries suffered by Sajida as well, but still nonetheless it's a good affair. Defending champion could not hold on to her crown. This time we have a new champion. First time Dinara De Silva, the Women's Open champion at the First Capital SSC Open Tennis Championships 2024.
So it's going to be a very long and busy year for Dinara this time, because just after this tournament she'll be playing in the 2 ITF tournaments that are held in Colombo, followed by the Junior Billie Jean King Cup. So now we will be moving on to the prize presentation on court, and
stay tuned. We'll be connecting with you soon.
We'll be with you.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.